Hi, I hope everybody's having a good day. I might look bad, but I feel perfectly fine. And just to be clear, there's no hard feelings to the person that did this. Um, I've been wanting to speak up about something, but I've never seemed to have the guts to do it until I recently received some loving motivation. I'm finally, yeah, and this is simply just to bring awareness to a topic that might not have awareness. And I'm not going to go into gory details because things can get quite gory. And I'm pretty sure from the looks of me, you can tell I'm not the sharpest pencil in the box, but I'm a little bit less ignorant today than what I was a few years ago. And I think that's how I ended up in a abusive relationship in the first place. It lasted for 10 years. It would have been 8, but he told me he's going to kill the next one and her death would be on my conscience. And I know he meant it. So I ended up staying for another 24 months. And like I said, I'm not going to mention the bad stuff because this is simply out of love for people who might still be in the situation that I got out of. And it's simply just to shed some light in places that might not have light shed on them, and just to bring awareness. So just to, yeah, give awareness to the topic and just to paint a bit of a picture, like the usual things. I wasn't allowed to have friends. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. I wasn't allowed to speak to anybody. I wasn't allowed to even go to shops. I wasn't allowed to keep my bank card. I wasn't allowed to have my phone. I wasn't allowed to drive. I would get tied up and peed on, um, kicked a lot, told I was lower than a dog. Um, Neither me or the kids were allowed to have birthdays. Only he was allowed to have birthdays. And I still have one of my old diaries, and to understand is to perceive patterns, said Isaiah Berlin. And I must say there were patterns to things. And like things got worse whenever we stayed on a farm. Like whenever we stayed on a farm, there weren't any neighbors nearby. So like winter times and whenever it rained, like today it's a rainy day, I would have been stripped naked and forced to sleep outside. But we had this awesome dog named Ozzy, which even though he usually slept inside the house, like whenever I was forced to sleep outside, he would come sleep outside with me and warn me whenever there were baboons and jackals, because it was farm life. Like I used to get starved and I wasn't allowed to eat. The dog would get my food, and eventually if I got hungry enough, then I was forced to eat dog food. And I don't mean like the nice cans of dog food, I mean like dry dog pellets. And yeah, like tied up and peed on, and like creative ways of torture that I'm not going to mention. But that was just life. Like I was deprived from sleep. Like he wouldn't allow me to sleep for like sometimes over a week. Um, yeah, like those are the small little things, like getting your head bashed in. Small things. Like I'm not gonna mention the bad stuff, but this is just to paint a bit of a picture of the 10 years that I had, like every day. And for the people that are in that situation, like you would know, abuse is never just physical. Like I got so used to, he used to call it giving me a hiding. I got so used to receiving hidings that I trained myself to fall asleep during a beating. And if you are in that situation, like that is a good technique to learn, because it's not going to help you with the pain. You're still going to wake up the next day, like, and you're going to feel it. But it does help for the emotional scarring. Like one of his favorite things to do was beat me up with a tonfa stick because he loves me. Like, yeah, like emotional shit. And like very creative ideas. Like he stuck lighters in my mouth and tried to stick the lighters down my throat, and then kneed me in my stomach and put his hand over my mouth to make me swallow the lighters, which is why I have chips on my teeth. And yeah, like always tied me up and did shit to me. Like there's people right now that are living in cages, unaware of the fact that there's a whole world outside. And I can say from experience that he always opened up cases against me for the things that he did. And no matter how much evidence I had, no matter how obvious it was, whether it was x-rays, whether it was witness statements, whether it was physical evidence, like so obvious, like nobody ever seemed to help because he was very articulate in saying the right things. And I would love to believe that I'm the only person that has ever happened to, but I doubt it. And somewhere out there right now, there's somebody living like that. And if I cry, it's not for me. I don't care about what happened to me. Like life goes on. Like life is beautiful regardless. Like even in that situation, you can find beauty if you look hard enough. If you're looking for miracles, make sure they're not hard to find. But everybody says they understand, which is one of the worst things to say to a person in that situation, because you don't. Everybody always understands and everybody's always there to help, but they don't. But I can honestly say I've been there and I understand how much brainwashing goes on. I can understand how scared you are to leave. I can understand how petrified you are of the rest of the world because you are being brainwashed to believe that the rest of the world is your enemy and that your abuser is the one that's actually protecting you from the rest of the world. And even if you're tied up and in a cage, like literally, like all these struggles would be worth it if I know that I reached somebody that's maybe in that situation. If maybe I just gave a little bit of a light or a little bit of hope to someone that's in a situation that is utterly hopeless. And yeah, like life really is better on the other side. And I know now I'm not the best person to say, hey, leave, it's so good outside, but it really is. Life is beautiful. There's so much beauty in the world, and you are worthy of experiencing it. Like, the whole point of being human is to be relatable. And I'm here to say I can relate to you. And you're not alone. There's probably so many women that are still in the same situation that I got out of, which I'm so grateful for. And I know it's not easy, it's still difficult, like they come at you full force when you leave and for long after, like it doesn't ever really go away, but it's still better. I go to sleep in peace, I wake up in peace, I don't throw up anymore when it's close to going home time at work because I'm worried about what moods people are in. I'm not getting tied up anymore. I'm not getting beaten to a pulp anymore. I'm not being left in a field naked anymore. Like, all the little ways that people torture you, like, all that's gone. Like, yes, it's scary to be on your own. Yes, it's scary to face the world head on. Yes, but it gets better. Like, I had very bad PTSD. I don't have PTSD anymore. I used to have like hectic panic attacks. I don't have panic attacks anymore. I used to, like, my health was so bad because He used to deprive me of sleep and starve me. And just small things, like I can go into a shop now and buy something small and nobody's watching over my shoulder. I'm not going to get beaten when I get home for it. Like, your life should be yours. Your life should be yours. Nobody deserves to fall asleep crying on a bathroom floor, hoping to die. Nobody deserves to have abuse being so obvious, and nobody's helping you. Nobody deserves that. And somewhere there's somebody that's in that situation still. And that's why I'm doing this. Like, I don't care about me. Like, if I could, I always used to say, rather me that can handle it than somebody who can't. And I'm still saying that. Like, that's why I'm doing this. This video is not an easy one to make. Like, even people that know me only know, like, tiny little bit. Nobody knows the whole story, and probably never will, because life goes on and life's better, and I barely think about it anymore. This eye was just a reminder and a motivation to finally say something, because it's always in the back of my mind that I want to help somebody else that might still be in that situation. And hopefully this video brought some awareness. And yeah, things aren't always what they seem, and ignorance isn't always bliss. And yeah, there's people that are innocent, that are kept in cages and treated as guilty until proven innocent, and they don't deserve it. And I'm glad and I'm grateful to be on the other side. And so does everybody deserves that, everybody deserves to have peace. And I just want peace for other people. I want peace for you. And I want you to know that you're not alone, and if you can relate to the things that I said, if you are being treated like a dog, if you are being tied up, if you are getting beaten with a tonfa, if you're being tortured in very freaking creative ways, I must admit, then contact me. I might not be able to help you, but I can love you, and I can relate to you, and I can remind you that you're human, and you're worthy, and you're equal to any other person that's on this planet. Nobody is above anybody else. Everybody's equal. And I'm sorry I'm crying. It's not because I'm emotionally scarred or depressed or anything. Like, I'm actually having a good day. I just wish these things weren't happening anymore. And I wish there was something I could do about it. And I guess this video is me doing something about it. Yeah. I hope you're okay, whoever you are. I'm praying for you. And I love you. And you're strong. People like us are fucking strong. If you can survive the situation that you're in now, girl, you can do anything. And I'm here to say life's not perfect, but it sure is a whole lot better than getting beaten on a bathroom floor and hoping to die. And get out any way you can, even if you have to suffer for a while. Like, eventually you're gonna find your way, and yeah, when you do, you're gonna see that there's a whole big world waiting for you to get to the other side. And yeah, I love you. Have a good day.